Hey guys, it's Ghost again here at the range for episode 2 of IDPA for Beginners, presented by Code 1 Ammo. In episode 1, we talked about starting out and your gear that you're probably going to need for IDPA and in competitive shooting in general, but primarily we're talking about IDPA because that's kind of what I shoot and that's kind of more of what I know. So we talked about the gear. The next step is before you go shoot a match and all that, kind of understand the rules. I would suggest that you go to the IDPA website, idpa.com. You can register to become a member of the IDPA. I think it's like $30-35 for a year. That allows you to go ahead and shoot. You can find your local clubs, find out what matches are coming around in your area. But more importantly, you can download the rule book. Now, it will obviously send you your membership card and a rule book and all that in the mail. But you can download a PDF version of the rule book and familiarize yourself with the different divisions. There's different divisions for revolver, SSP, which is stock service pistol, ESP, which is enhanced service pistol. They have CDP, CCP, which is what I shoot, compact carry pistol. They have different divisions depending on what kind of gun you want to use. At that point, you're going to have to figure out what the rules for mags are, for division capacity. In my division, the maximum we can load our magazines are 8 rounds. Some of them are 10 rounds, depending on SSP and all that. They have different rules. But familiarize yourself with the rules, especially if you know what kind of gun. If you don't have a gun, you'll kind of get an idea of maybe what gun to go buy. If you already have a gun, there's probably no reason for you to go buy one. You can find out what kind of gun it is, what size it is, find out where in which division that gun's going to fall into, and there you go. There's one more expense you don't have to worry about. But today we're going to talk more about targets, scoring, procedural points, and how a match is actually scored. Okay guys, what I'm going to do right now is put up a couple pictures of different types of IDPA targets. This first target is going to be our standard IDPA target. Notice that there is a circle in the middle with a -0 and a circle in the head area with a -0. The -0 areas are the areas of the target that you actually want to be shooting at. If you hit your rounds in these areas, you'll be down 0, which means you're down 0 points, and every point is a second added on to your raw time. So the areas with -0 are the areas that you're actually trying to aim for. The outer ring around the down 0 circle is a -1. If your round hits in this area, you are down 1, which means for every round in that area, that's 1 second. The outside ring is a down 3 ring. You hit your rounds in there. For every round in the down 3 ring, it is obviously 3 seconds. So that is the standard IDPA target. The second target we're going to talk about is a non-threat target. This is a standard IDPA target that has 2 hands, almost in a hands-up surrender position. What this target means is it is a non-threat target. And these will sometimes be in front or behind a swinging target or behind a steel plate target, or they'll be in front of normal targets. You, under no circumstances, want to hit this target. If you have a hole in the target, that's going to be some penalty points that could really dramatically change your score and your time. So you try to avoid the non-threat targets at all costs. The third target that you're going to see is a standard IDPA target with portions of the target shaded in black. And basically what that is these are areas of the target that you do not want to hit. The tan or the cardboard color of the target are the targets you're trying to hit. So even the down 0 circle might be cut in half. You're only trying to shoot the half that is not black. If you shoot a part that's black, it will be considered a miss. So you don't want to try to, you don't want to shoot the black areas of the target. That's going to give you as if you missed the shot completely. So these are the 3 types of targets. There could be others depending upon your local club and your local match. They might have different types of targets, but mostly these are the 3 types of targets you're going to see. The standard IDPA target, the non-threat target, and the target is going to have different parts of the target shaded in a different color. It's typically black. That will indicate if you shoot that area, it will be considered a miss. So there you go. So that's the basic idea of what the targets are going to look like, and they're going to get into a lot more specifics on how to shoot with points of cover. You're going to have to shoot behind cover, understanding that there are different penalties and procedural penalties that you can get. Like I said in the beginning, I was shooting up in Tulsa this weekend. Had a really good time. Got to shoot with one of my buddies. Got to meet some great guys down in Texas. Some old Marine Corps guys that were in my squad, so that was kind of cool. We all got to shoot together. But my goal was to have no procedurals this weekend, and this was the first match I ever shot that I did not have one procedural. So I was really, really happy about that. All right, one of the next things we're going to talk about now are points of cover. And we're going to show you a couple example of stages here. Pictures, more or less, of what a stage will look like, points of cover, how to shoot around that cover, and all that stuff. You had to know when to do a tactical reload. You can't be exposed in certain situations to do different things. You get penalized. Like I said, I was very fortunate for the first time in a match not to have any procedural penalties against me, so I felt really good about that. Being a young shooter in this, you're going to freak out a little bit. You're going to do some stuff that's wrong. Hopefully it's nothing major to where you get disqualified. But a lot of times what will happen is if you're getting close to doing something wrong, after you get done shooting, the safety officer will come over and say, hey, you might want to be careful when you do this, or you might want to not do that next time. You're pretty close of getting penalized there. So they're really good about trying to help you out. Hopefully you don't ever cross a 180-degree muzzle barrier. That's bad. You never want to point your muzzle down towards anybody. You always want to be downrange. So that's obviously the big no-no, but that's kind of general knowledge there and common sense. But so we're going to put some pictures up here when we talk a little bit about a stage and the fault lines. And what you're going to notice is how the stage is. You're going to be moving quite a bit between different targets. Very few times will you ever be able to shoot all the targets on a stage from one position. And most of the time, you're not going to be stationary at all. You're going to be shooting, then running to another point of cover, shooting 2 or 3 more targets, running to another point of cover, shooting 2 or 3 more targets. Some of those targets you'll have to be shooting on the move. So you'll have to remember that. You'll be shooting sometimes strong hand only, sometimes weak hand only. So there's going to be, every stage is different, but there's going to be some different scenarios here that you'll be able to see, and I hope you enjoy it. Guys, I want to thank you again for watching this. Like I said, the biggest thing you want to do to start out is go to idpa.com, register to become a member of IDPA, start finding some local matches. Like I said, if you don't want to shoot in the first one, go watch one and have a good time and see how it works. You'll get an idea of how it flows. I want to thank Code 1 Ammo. They've been taking care of me. My ammo performed phenomenally this past weekend in Tulsa, so thank you to Kyle Osborne. Guys, if you need anything ammo-wise, they can do it all. Custom loading, they can get whatever you want, so contact Kyle Osborne at Code 1 Ammo. Thank you for everything you do for me, Kyle. Until next time, guys, Semper Fi.